Hello everyone, my name is Jeff Neville and welcome to Selective Imagery. I started taking pictures when I was 7 or 8 years old, and I really shoot just about everything. And here's some samples of what I take, whether it be sunrises, alligators, birds. It's what I do a lot of right now. But I also do macro. I'll do small animals, and I'll do street photography, and I'll use my old cameras to take some black and white photos with. So here's a sample of one of my cameras coming up. So I'm a generalist, but right now I'm focused a lot on wildlife and birds in particular. So I hope you enjoy my channel, and let's get right to the show. Welcome to the South Carolina Railroad Museum. My friend Bob from Bob R Photos and I went to this museum yesterday, the 28th of June, and you're going to see some pictures as I continue to talk. And we went to the South Carolina Railroad Museum, and it was established in 1973 by a group of obvious train lovers from the Columbia and Charleston, South Carolina area. In 1983, the museum received a donation, the former Rockton and Rion Railway, located in Fairfield County, South Carolina, from Martin Marietta Aggregates. The hours of operation are Wednesday through Saturday, 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. They have train rides open to the public on Saturday, and they do special charter or group rides that can be scheduled for other days. It's listed on the National Register of Historic Places. It's accumulated many pieces of rolling stock by way of gifts from the Charleston chapter of the National Railway Historical Society, various types of freight and passenger cars, steam locomotives. More equipment was acquired, including cabooses, freight cars, diesel engines from CSX, Norfolk Southern, Lancaster and Chester, and other railroads. You got a lot of miscellaneous equipment in the museum, displays, model trains, gift shop, so on and so forth. Depending on the time of the year, there are different cars that you may ride on, such as a 1924 dining car, a 1954 passenger coach, a 1940 nickel plate road caboose, and an open air car, and others. The school children that you'll see in these pictures, a picture coming up, they got a ride on the open air car. So I recommend that you visit this. It was a lot of fun. Go to their website at scrm.org for more detailed information. In the upcoming image, you're going to see a locomotive followed by different types of cars that are tied in with the locomotive, such as crew cars and passenger carriages, box cars, flat cars, cabooses, wide variety. And unfortunately, many of this stuff being donated, it needs to be restored. And they don't charge you anything to get into the museum at all. They have some donation boxes, which I recommend if you care about railroad history. Throw in a couple bucks, help out. They have a general donation box, and they have one specific to restoring one of the locomotives. But it's worthwhile to keep these machines up and running and alive and restore them a little bit at a time. And I think it's a great thing to go and show your kids, because they don't often get to see these types of trains anymore. Here they're positioning some of the cars, and then they had an open car here. where they had children from several school districts that came to get a ride. And here's a post office railway car. That was interesting. You're going to see, multiple pictures of the locomotives, obviously. That's what most people want to see. Now, this was kind of a semi-open cargo boxcar, and I think this was probably used for maybe cattle or chickens or something like that. You're going to see some pictures now inside one of the passenger carriages that you could walk into that is, partially restored. Pressure gauges. And this is the narrow hallway you have between the outside wall of the passenger carriage, and then on the left you'll have little openings where you have the rooms. And you can see the toilet, from what I saw, was shared between two parties. Bunk beds for kids. You had a nice little dining area. Got some pictures of the food prep areas, which was kind of interesting. Definitely cramped quarters to prepare food. This is a view looking into some of the other carriages that were not restored as well. I didn't walk down through there. And now you're going to see display items that were in the museum, from conductor hats to some of the switch panels, along with signage and lanterns, miscellaneous lighting. It was pretty neat. They had a few bells in there that they asked you not to ring. And that was just like a little exhibit of a typical office area with the donation box. Place to sort mail coming in. More exhibits of different kinds of lighting. This is an old cast iron downspout from 1858. A switch lantern on a stand. Like I said, here's another switch panel. Control panel. A switch box. And here's a close-up view of some of the china that would be used in the dining area. Another shot outside with the pile of coal. Some miscellaneous shots of some equipment that's just laying around on the grounds. This is just a display of different types of railroad spikes and screws and stuff like that used in the railroad industry. Here's a quick video. Just to show you that they do have trains that move, at least a little bit. They have a 10-mile track that you actually go on, and I think it's roughly an hour. So it's definitely not going very fast if it does 10 miles in an hour, but it's a nice leisurely ride. And I know I talked to some of the kids when they got off of it, and they had a great time. And I'm going to finish up this presentation with just some black and white interpretations of a few photographs that you've already seen that I converted and tweaked into black and white, which I think is always a neat thing to do. And my friend and I, both shot with our medium format cameras. We shot black and white. I shot some film camera with a Nikon F4S. Those were most of these pictures that you see here, or all of them, are with the Z9 with the 24-120 f4 lens. My friend Bob was using I believe a 16mm movie camera. So he's going to be coming out with stuff down the road. And here you can see the, starring trains. Visit scrm.org. So check it out. It's about 2 hours and 40 minutes from the Myrtle Beach area. So it's good for a day trip if you're down here and you want to see something different. So as I say, enjoy life, capture some of it, go out and get some of your own images and have a great time. And shoot with whatever you got, man, because the best camera is the one you have in your hand. Take care.